Good morning. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the NFT morning. Today is October 20. Actually, I'm very lucky because today I am with my friend Ram. How are you, Ram?
Hello, hello. How are you?
Great.
So
It's
good to
me.
be back.
I think, it's been a while actually. So it's good to see your face. It's good to hear your voice. A lot of people are asking me, Remy, where is Remy? Remy is not here
Ah,
anymore. And so now I can see you in real. And Remy, people can hear we speak English because it's a special edition of the NFT morning. Actually, it's a special edition focused on Paris photo. Like last year and like the year before, actually, Nina Rohers is curating the digital sector of Paris photo, and we have the chance to partner with them for the second year in a row, and trying to interview as much project galleries and artists as possible that will take part of it. So I had the chance actually 2 hours ago to record another episode with the UNICEF and Giga, and it will be online soon. I will invite you to listen to that because it was with UNICEF and Cole Steinberg artist. And today, actually, I'm really happy because first, we have the chance to have Albertine Meunier from Avant Galerie Vossen. Hi, Albertine, how are you?
Hello, good, fine, and you?
Very good.
Martin.
Good to have you again. We have the chance. It's not your first time at
Mm,
NFT morning, and it's not your first time at Paris Photo. Actually,
mm,
you talk about it with us, and you did not came alone. You came also with the artist. Where you will do a solo show with him at Paris Photo, and yeah, I think many people know him, but for people who don't, you will love this show. This is Norman Harman. Hi, Norman. Nice to have.
Hello.
Hey,
There
for
he
people
goes.
for people who are not seeing,
We've got a little visitor.
you know,
How we doing? All right.
doing great on you.
Aye, good to be here. Good to be here.
Good. Thank you for being with us this morning. Thank you for being there, and hi to the cat for people who are not watching the show. We had the chance to have the cat with us also. What is it? Is it a female or male?
Emil, he's a young lad. He's only 6 months old, so he's like, yeah,
I
he's just sort of
see.
ruling the house. He's
Oh,
just, you know. So we need to get the old.
okay. Okay, yeah, I see. So now, good to be with you, Norman and Albertine. So we will have this show at Paris Photo. But, maybe just because I think it's if I'm not wrong, Albertine,
yeah,
it's at least the second time in a row you're going to Paris Photo, but I'm pretty sure it's more, right?
yeah, it's more, it was the third time.
The third
We,
time.
we did it at the very beginning when it was at Grand Palais Éphémère, the first edition. So
Okay.
for Norman will be for the third Paris Photo of Avant Galerie. Yeah,
So you are an OG of the digital sector of Paris Photo for 30 years.
yeah, we can say that. Yeah,
I remember last year, your booth was maybe, yeah. I don't like to say.
surprising. Yeah, it could be surprising compared to the other ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
because we had a show with Gretchen Andrew. I think she had an exhibition in Paris at Art Verse, I think this week. Yeah, so Gretchen, she's using a painting robot to to create artworks. So last year we had a painting show inside the booth. So it was really
Good.
surprising compared to the other booth with digital screens and prints. So yeah,
I see. Wow. Yeah, it was really impressive. I think you could not miss it. And so I'm expecting a lot also from this booth this year. So maybe Albertine, you can tell us a bit more just I think it's interesting just from your gallery point of view, because for people who don't know avant Galerie Vossen, I think your name already show this avant-garde spirit, of course, but also the fact that you've been pioneering new mediums, and especially also digital art. I want to say before everybody that it's really like extremely early, and you're still doing this with this kind of I would say I see this kind of a crypto art ethos also. So basically, this idea of being vindicative, avant-garde, a bit punk in a way. I don't know, but how would you describe just the curation that you're doing in the gallery?
In Avant Galerie, the curation we did in. So first of all, in Avant Galerie, I'm advising. We are partnering with Galerie Vossen, who is a specialist in painting, because she was in Galerie Claude Bernard for many years, and she's very good at painting. And for my past, I'm a very old digital artist, so I know pretty well digital art. So it's a mixed. Our gallery is a mix between these two trends, the two areas of art. And perhaps we have I don't know, perhaps punk is a good way to define our curation line, because we did many shows. It can be trash art or only crypto art shows. Or right now we have from spam to slop show at the gallery, and it could be visited also during Paris Photo. So it's very very colorful. And sometimes we have a thematic exhibition, so we mix painting, AI, NFT. So and we try to show very the age of digital art in a way that's something that could explain how the digital world is evolving. So, for instance, right now we have Slop, which is really AI production, mass AI production, and it's also a way to explain people how digital world is impacting our life. So, and we for sure in the gallery we love painting, and Harman is one of the, I don't know how to say that, but it's a really mix between painting, art, digital, and so I think he can incarnate the spirit of the gallery, like when we did the show with Robbie Barra and Ronan Barrault, and it was the way of showing how painting can mixed with digital art. So Norman Harman is a figure for that.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, and maybe Norman, thank you for introducing Norman the works. I wanted to show just this video also because I think it's actually, now I can see that you have some common traits with Vincent van Gogh, Norman, physically. I can see. Yeah. And for people who don't know this, and even I just wanted to, for people who don't know you also, Norman, show this Vincent return work, that has been minted on Super Rare, so people can understand a bit more also about it. Let me show it to you.
walked through the canvas, stinking of linseed and fire. Woke in your temple of velvet and lies. Hung my pain like a taxidermy prize. Put a spotlight on my ruin and jacked up the price. I died in rags, now you sell me in gold. Every lot is a gravestone, every bit is cold. Made a circus of my bleeding years. Now I'm back with a bat and I'm all out of ears. I'm coming for your auction, bat in hand, with a screen full of color you'll never understand. You feasted on my madness, made it chic. Now I'm painting your teeth on the floor of boutique. I'm not your legend, I'm not your lore. I'm Vincent Van Effing Gogh and I'm kicking in the door. Guggen said art is harmony, I said art is war. Then I broke a chair across his jaw and painted on the floor. He sold his myth and lays and lies. I sold my soul for bread and got euthanized. You polished my bones for the catalog gloss. Told the world I was priceless after the loss. You never bought the work, just the wound. Now I'm here to repaint this auction room. I saw my self-portrait sell for 50 mil. I saw your smirks, your caviar thrill, while I begged the sky for a single sale. You were bottling my torment, retail by retail. I bled under stars, you sold them as prints. You wore my grief in auction tints. You licked your lips as the hammer fell. Now I've crawled out of hell to ring your bell. I'm coming for your auction, bat in hand. No frame, no label, no upper hand. You built your temple from my collapse. Now I'm signing it all with bone and cracks. You call it legacy, I call it theft. You took everything, and now there's nothing left. You made me an icon, a brand, a ghost, but you never bought the man who needed it most. So here I am, Vincent, risen and rude, and I brought it back, carved from your attitude.
It's amazing, I keep the video like this. Actually, I just wanted to show a few seconds, but then I was thrown in the middle of the walk and say, wow, I cannot stop it. It's like, Remy, I'm sure you love it, right?
Oh my God, yeah, it's such a wow.
Now,
A big slap in my face in this first day of the week. Wow, my God.
and now we can see the end of the video where, basically you see this, Vincent Van Gogh coming back with this badass style and baseball bat, breaking everything in the end of the clip. Also, it's it's fucking badass, and the texts of the music also is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching it again, and it's I think it's a real kind of Monday morning, get the juices flowing, like, it's it was I kind of just came up with the idea, like the kind of notion of Van Gogh and all these auction houses all the time, and it's a multi-billion-dollar business from Van Gogh prints and all that kind of stuff, and obviously his artwork changing hands for millions, and I just thought, fuck it, let's go for it, let's make something where you imagine him coming back and with a baseball bat, and the song actually was the initial starting point. The song was a starting point, and then obviously kind of create different groups from that.
This is what I see. Actually, also when you go, we'll share the link. When you go on Super Rare, you can see the text actually in the metadata. Also, I think you have the text of the song, right?
Sure,
so you generated the text first, and then the song, and then from that. Maybe you can explain. I think it's a good example also to explain your work, because you have your own like machine learning model, right? Norman, maybe you can tell us a bit more. But just
no problem.
This just to explain, you have your own LLM that you've been training for this, right?
For the Android Plaza works, which I sent, which are those works, a selection are going to Paris Photo Fair. They are trained on my own sort of photographs, and then the model has been used to recreate in the form of the art fair compositions. So
I see.
Yeah.
So okay. So you've been and so basically it's another interesting work that actually you mentioned also now.
Yeah.
I won't show the whole video, but we can have. And for some reason I don't. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now we can see also it.
Yeah, this is a bit more grating. This is a bit more kind of harder on the ears, I think.
But it's also related, because you see the criticism or you play with the codes of the art world, that is a mix of art and fashion and business and money and fancy stuff and very luxury on the end. That is and so for this we can see this video where basically most of the people, instead of seeing properly the everything, sometimes you have some glitch effect also appearing. And so this is what you mentioned, to generate this glitch, you've been creating kind of a glitch model, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, we're taking. So over the period of about 3 years, I was taking photographs of I had a TV with an antenna that was the signal was broken. So I would document the TV every day, and I ended up with something like 2,500 photos of this kind of glitched effect that you get when the TV disc, the signal isn't great.
Of your own TV, right?
Yeah.
So basically, you had like I would say, because for people who don't, for young people, I would say, TV used to be analogic. So it means that you need to have an antenna basically to get the signal. And if the antenna is not exactly perfectly on the good alignment, you can see some glitches, different ones, small ones, big ones, stuff like that, right?
Sure.
And
exactly.
So
and that, and I was able to sort of hold the antenna up at various parts of the, away from the television, and that would control the amount of glitch that would come through. So you could, the further you took the antenna away from the television, the glitch would be almost complete. Closer to the television, it would be much more minimal. So I documented these through sort of normal photographic means, and then this year I was able to feed it into a model and then get the sort of results that you see with the video and the other Android Plaza works. So that's really exciting.
Wow, no, but so you created kind of a glitch database, kind of with images, and I would say the level of the amount of amount of glitch you want to put into that, right?
Sure, exactly. So through the model, I'm able to actually, obviously, create the subject matter. So in this case, it was an art fair. So I would type in art fair, figures, abstract art, and then it would give me the compositions. And then once I realized you could actually have a lot more control over it. So you could, for example, you could have it predominantly yellow in the composition. So there's like yellow rooms in the art fair. So it's like mixing paint, but you're mixing it with obviously the words and and your models. So for me, that's really exciting, and that's the kind of, I think, what Avant Gallery saw, and obviously wanted to take to Paris Photo as well. So it's it'll be the first time these works are seen in a physical form. So
okay. And so Albertine, so yeah, actually, you mentioned to me also the first NFT you minted, because Albertine is lot of things in the same time. She's a great artist on one
Sure.
hand, exhibited also now, part of the Centre Pompidou also collection, though that's and on the other hand, of course, collaborating and having an active part of the Avant Galerie Vossen, especially on the digital part, and so you are minting also digital artworks, and the first one you've been was with you by using this model, Albertine.
It's no, I think it's first NFT I bought was a Norman Harman. I was mining.
Okay.
I bought it. So for me, Norman Harman is my first.
Because she's also a collector, I forgot.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm also a collector. Yeah. Right. And at the very beginning of NFT, when I went into NFT, Norman was the first NFT I bought, because for me it was, I don't know, this kind of, you can feel a different touch, like a painting touch perhaps. So yeah, it's what I love a lot in Norman Harman. This glitch thing, and on the other side, in some artworks, you can feel the painting gesture. Yeah, I don't know how I can explain that, but
yeah, you see the movement basically. You can feel and see the movement, because of the stripes of the glitch. It's giving also like a kind of intention that you can see on paints basically, but with something digital at the end of the day.
yeah, and
And
it's a kind of mystery, the technique of Norman, how he transform a digital image into a digital painting or digital glitch. I don't know how he process. Yeah.
that's really cool. And so, what can we yeah, sorry, the sound is a bit crappy here, but
And now, is it okay or still crappy?
it's better. It's better.
Okay.
It's better. But what can we expect to see? Because I have a lot of expectations, Albertine, to be honest, with your booth, because I know that.
No, I think it will be really traditional this year.
Yeah.
In
So
a way. No,
which
I-
work can we
we will have different series of Norman, but it will be mainly print on digital photographies on aluminium. So it will be really traditional. And so it's different series from Norman, one from Android Plaza with this kind of glitch, and different ones, new ones also. Yes, it's we made a selection with this Android Plaza glitch, and also some others with when you feel the painting gesture. It's what you like, what we like in Norman artworks. So you will see, and
we
it
will
will be a bundle between with the print and the NFT. So it will be the print will be a kind of incarnation of the NFT.
jump showing works like this also, just for people to see the style, even if it's not the ones that will be exhibited. But yeah, on super rare, it's really cool to I'm just chilling and discovering also more and more works, when you see really like you don't know if it's you have this painting feeling, this is the thing, it's when you have a look, you say, okay, it's a paint, and that's and on the other hand, you see that something is different, but you cannot describe it.
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
That's really no. So that's really cool. And so basically, what you mentioned is that so you can get you will be able to collect the physical part
Mhm.
without the NFT, right?
With the NFT.
With the NFT.
Yeah, a bundle, like it will be. For us, it's more because it's true that we exhibited Norman artworks several times in Avant Galerie, and for people who like painting, it's a really artwork. So we wanted to try to print his artworks not to exhibit not only on a screen but on a print like a photographer. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah, because you have collectors. Yeah, basically people collecting your work, Norman, and not specifically Digens, I would say. It's basically people collecting you who are used to collect paints, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I try and kind of capture the essence of a traditional painting practice that I had for years. And then I kind of migrated fully digitally about 6 years ago. So I've not really picked up any of the traditional mediums like oil and acrylics and stuff like that. So what was important was I tried to emulate the sort of brush strokes in my kind of style. And I did that through creating my own sort of custom brushes as well. So when I paint with the digital brushes, it's kind of like reenacting the sort of physical marks that I make. So you get that kind of you get that relationship between the analog and the digital paint, and then the two are quite similarly attuned.
Okay, because the way you're working is real digital painting. It means that really select the size and the style of the brush, so the effect that is attached, on
Exactly.
this to work. Okay, of course, including the color also, but so you really have this you created your own brushes at the end of the day to make it work, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, completely. I mean, it was trial and error. I mean, the early digital paintings from sort of 2019 to 2020 were much more like sort of digital oil, smoothing and glazing over, but they lacked a little bit the kind of tooth and the sort of meat of the paint, the analog paint. So so then I kind of reconfigured the whole sort of digital painting idea and created my own brushes, and then used those over the last 3-4 years, which has been kind of effortless really, in terms of it's like my analog painting but digitally. So it's been great, and I'm a kind of digital painting maxi, if you like, now. It's the thought of going back to painting analog painting is something that I'm just like, doesn't interest me anymore. And I'd been doing it for years, years.
Yeah, so it's really unique in Norman works, this digital painting trace on the image. Yeah, it's very very unique. Yeah.
It's it's really sorry. Yeah, please. Yeah, Norman, you wanted to say something?
Oh no, sorry, I thought Rem was wanting to say something.
Oh, Rem, excuse me. Rem, please.
Sorry, Rem.
You're on mute.
No. I have several questions to ask to Harman, especially on his work about Vincent, because I was very impressive to.
I knew you would be locked on Vincent, Rem. I knew.
Yeah, go for it, man.
The first question, it's not the most interesting, but I think it's a huge work for you, and just to know how long you took to create this movie.
Yeah.
Around.
You know what? It took, once I got going, it didn't take that long really, because I suppose we've got the tools now. We've got the AI tools to really, package it tightly and explore the music, the narrative, and then obviously the still visuals, which are then animated through like Kling and stuff like that. So it was a really the whole process probably took about a month from sort of initial idea to full launch as a full sort of song and video like so. But yeah, I mean, it was quite a smooth process. It really was. I mean, I couldn't create that 5 months ago. There's no way. There's just absolutely no way. So with those tools, there's a kind of realism and a narrative and a story there that I think, through the music and the lyrics captures hopefully the essence of what I was trying to portray. So I actually tokenized it on its own contract and imported it into Super Rare. But the piece will never be sold. It's just there on the blockchain forever. So I've kind of, it's not for sale, but it's just it's minted for eternity, hopefully.
Like
Very
a
interesting.
like a manifesto in a way
Yeah,
of
sure,
your technique.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure, because you wouldn't, you don't want to sell it because then you'd be seen on capitalizing. You'd be hypocritical, wouldn't you? You'd be going, I've created this piece of, of a portrait of Van Gogh, but I'm selling it. Well, it's not for sale. It's there as a, like you say, as a manifesto on the blockchain. So I'm happy.
But
I'm happy.
I'm thinking about something. You're selling the whole movie, but in fact, almost each second of the movie could be a piece of art,
Yeah,
and and
yeah.
you can
Thanks.
sell it as well like this.
Yeah, I mean, I'd thought about that. I thought about tokenizing the stills and doing variants on the stills and stuff. But I just like that idea that it's not for sale. It's just a piece that it exists. It's time stamped, and I think sometimes there's work that isn't for sale, is there? But it's great to have it on the blockchain. It's great to mint it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's not for sale. It's just needs
It's
to
not for
exist.
sale. Sorry.
Just
Yeah.
needs to exist, and I think it's a good way to express also. No, there are a lot of things. Yeah, there are a lot of things. First, I love this interpretation of Vincent van Gogh. Like a really, you see, you can see the bad boy that we, basically we have this image of him like this. Someone that that could be like this today. Like a big, being there, very fancy, beautiful suits, but also very, very classy, nice bear. On the other hand, ready to kick ass and to fight and to break everything.
Well, I'm sure he would. I mean, I think he'd come. I think he'd be disgusted at the way his work has been, bastardized, basically, and made for profit and
Yeah. And we can see all the derivatives basically that we can imagine of his works, on the,
And
from
is it
chairs to
it's the part I like is where he talks about Gauguin, and Gauguin says, "What is it? Love, art is love," and Van Gogh says, "No, it's war." So he takes a chair and breaks his jaw and puts it across the floor. Like that idea that he's turning on one of his best pals. It's pretty wild. Like,
yes, Rem, sorry.
it, no, but it's exactly this point I wanted to discuss with you, Norman. For me, maybe I'm wrong, but this movie, it's about also the fame, and we know at this time, Vincent, nobody knows him, and I think he only sell one piece during his living. And I read an article about Basquiat 1 week ago, about how he could handle his fame today. And I think it's very different, because for Basquiat it was in his DNA. It was he was in this search of celebrity, a bit like sorry, of course, Andy Warhol. But for Vincent van Gogh, it's totally the opposite, because it's someone who was completely misunderstood during his life, and I think um, is uh, sorry, I lost my word. His painting, his all this piece is still more misunderstood today, in fact, because we can't understand Vincent if we are not thinking like if we are living at this time. I don't
Sure.
know. And I would also would know how is inspired you, because aesthetically we saw some similitudes, but maybe it's more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I think Vincent's probably inspired so many painters. Let's be honest. I mean, I mean, I didn't actually realise how phenomenal a painter he was until I saw his work in the flesh. And they sort of decried that he's a madman, but his ability to mix paint and get those colours without muddying them up, takes a huge amount of skill. I mean, like, to layer that over with impasto marks and get that kind of vibrancy, showed to me an artist who was well in control of what he was doing. But yeah, I suppose the sort of the maybe the similarities artists share with Vincent and can relate to him is one of poverty, is one of struggle, and one of not being, your art not being seen, your art not being accepted, begging collectors, begging galleries, and there's probably, that's a story for thousands of painters that have been before and that have been after, I think, so it's a universal, I think Vincent's story is a universal language that we can all relate with, like.
True. And okay, I think it's also a bigger topic, and I think for me the two movies we've been showing are kind of connected. But basically,
It's Fiesta today.
Yeah.
Is it Fiesta today?
Sorry, Albertine?
No, is it Fiesta because you had some balloons?
Fiesta balloon, yeah, it's Fiesta. But the other piece, we've been mentioning basically with this auction houses also work. We have the same feeling, for example, I wanted to show also this, for example, auction house Oscar piece that we can see, we can see the glitch, we can see there are a lot of things actually inside of this piece, and I believe Albertine, it will be also part of the show in Paris Photo, right?
Yeah, this one will be part of the show, and it's true that you can see in these artworks, the Norman way of working, like the glitch and the painting places. And for me, this one is really funny because
Clartine. So can you
sorry. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So the glitch and the trace of painting is present in these works. So for me, it's a total Norman Armand works, and there is also a touch of humor with Duchamp. Like it's like a mix between du Champagne and Duchamp. So yeah, we
yeah.
can. And it's also the relationship with Norman and the market and the auction. I think it's also a subject for him and for artists today in the NFT world. And yeah, so yeah, for me, this piece is really is really significant of art Norman work. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please, Norman, please.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's quite interesting you're picking that piece because a lot of the work is, you know, a lot of the paintings are a sort of satirical take. A lot of them kind of poke fun at the kind of bourgeoisie and the upper classes. You know, so there is a sort of like there is an element that comments on that, and that comes from the love I have for Honor Daumier, the French satirical artist Daumier back in the day. I used to love kind of seeing his drawings and his etchings of comment on the sort of French aristocracy back in the day. So a lot of that kind of work, a lot of these paintings come from are influenced by him as well. So yeah, that's quite a nice piece. It's got the sort of Duchamp ideas, but there's a grotesqueness to the painting as well. You know, the figures are kind of they're scraped over. They're glitched. There's a sort of like, you know, tearing away the facade within the paint.
Yeah, and actually, you know, it's fun because even auction houses has always been a topic. I think even now in the NFT world, we saw, now I don't know if you follow. Yeah, of course, it is Christie's that closes the digital section. You know, it was supposed to be a big milky business for them, and finally they realized that their business is not adapted for that. What have you been working with auction houses, Norman, already?
No, I don't think they would take me. You know, they've been the subject of many artworks that I've made. I mean, commenting on that announcement by Christie's, I did make a piece which was a video piece about auction houses and the sort of, you know, the centralized aspect of what they were doing, and you know, I mean, fair play. Like, you know, it's not for everyone, is it? The sort of crypto art and NFT games. So, you know, the artists that they I think they sold, was it Beeple they represented? That's right, isn't it? They sold the Beeple piece back in the day.
Yeah. You know, they open. Yeah.
I mean, how do you progress from that, really? You know, so it's
yeah.
And I have a question, Norman. How did you start into crypto? At the very beginning of your crypto work?
Yeah.
Why did you enter into this space, and how did you do that?
Basically, I was working. It was 2019, and I was working. I mean, I'd always been working digitally. I'd always been using Photoshop, and I'd always, you know, been creating digital artworks. But that was like secondary to my analog painting practice, and I was working on a show, quite a big show, in 2019, and then COVID happened, and the show was cancelled, and went down the rabbit hole of sort of digital digital art, crypto art, NFTs, and that's where I found, obviously, super rare and tokenized my first piece in 2019, and then just built. I realized that this was my kind of tribe. This was my people. The artists and collectors, and it was something unique, something really special. The blockchain. Finally there was a place for the digital art to be housed. So, it was brilliant, and I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, you found actually it was like the space was waiting for you, or you've been waiting for this space. Basically, it was a good match. Basically,
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think it was also the idea of.
Actually, this is what happened for many of us. This is where I fall into this space because even now, I don't feel. Yeah, I feel like the traditional art world. I'm not a good match with the traditional art world. I think, like, of course, there are a lot of things that I love, and a lot of art that I love, and a lot of people that I love. But at the end of the day, I love this kind of spirit of crypto art ethos. I love this vision of not being something for bourgeoisie, but
totally.
something for people, basically being popular in a way also, and being visible by anyone, accessible to anyone, but also with all this when I think when you are a big geek also, there are a lot of codes and reference talking to you.
Totally. I mean, that's it. I mean, I think it was a realization that the sort of game's a bogey in the analog art world. It's as controlled as anything. You might be a great artist, but there's mechanisms and layers and hierarchy, and it's institutionalized. So you end up feeling an outcast, basically. And I think this space, all the outcasts kind of congregated, right? And it felt that we were moving into something that was completely new and the avant-garde, and I still do think that.
Do you think it's still like that now?
I think it's changed a lot. I think that there's more, sort of financiers and sort of other kind of money that's coming into the space, which hopefully it filters through. But the sort of the idea of crypto art, is being lost a little bit. The essence of it, the spirit. I can't quite put my hand on it, but I think we have to reclaim a little bit of the initial kind of punk sort of rebellious attitude. Like it's a little bit too neoliberal now. It's a little bit, you've got to watch what you say. You've got to be careful. Artists have always ruffled the feathers, man, and we need to do that. We need to keep questioning, the centralized notions.
Yeah, and I wanted to know what about art fairs?
Totally. I know. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's that's the thing, isn't it? You're like, in the belly of the beast. So Paris Photo Fair. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because there's a lot of work there that's commenting on the art fair, right? And you're eventually part of it as well. So that's interesting.
He will do a movie after that, an artist movie about Paris Photo. Be ready.
I think it is the point, and I think it's all, to be honest, it's all the story of, to come back on the punk movement. It's all the story about the punk movement. On the one hand, you like it when it's marginal, but on the other hand, you always want more people to discover it. And, it's always, you have always this balance of how much you can compromise the original spirit, to touch more people, and
Totally.
but that's make it interesting in a way. And so yeah, no, to talk about Paris Photo, Albertine, you're going there for the third time in a row. uh it's I think you are, so yeah, it works technically as a gallery. It works for you to go there.
Yeah, in terms of visibility, it works. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
not in terms of business.
Economically, it depends on the on the year.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you don't do. Yeah, it's better when
when
you
you sell.
sell, for sure. But yeah, it's not the only reason you do an art fair. It's also to show the gallery, used to highlight an artist. And I think Norman deserves that. And because I think you didn't do a solo show for a long time, at least in out of Scotland or England, I don't know. So art fair, it's also that. It's also a way to highlight on an artist like Gretchen, for instance, last year. Uh, yeah, it took time, but this year she had success. So it depend on the year. Some year are better than the others. Yeah, but I'm not the seller in this gallery, so I'm not
Yeah,
good
yeah,
at
you're not the one.
talking about that. Yeah,
Caroline from the gallery is doing
yeah,
the,
yeah,
the,
yeah,
the
yeah. She's a real gallerist. I'm just the advisor.
and just to stay also on the business side and the collecting side, if people are interested, so to see the Norman species that will be exhibited and would like maybe to reserve some of them, the best way to do it is to contact Caroline direct, Avant Galerie on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter or by email at
And so
contact@avant-gallery.com. Yeah.
and so maybe I believe you will be able to send them a catalog or something so they can have a
Yeah,
look.
yeah, a selection. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you want to discover, I invite you to contact them. It does not mean that you need to buy, but it's also a good way to discover all the works, and then you can talk with Caroline and see and there are,
And
yeah,
I,
there are
I-
big
and
things.
I think Norman has a pretty good number of collectors yet. People are following you because we exhibit some pieces in Avant Gallery space, and a lot of people are coming and I say, yeah, yeah, I'm collecting this guy and I like him. So I don't know if you are a collector's guy, but I think you are.
Yeah, thanks. No, yeah, I mean, look, it'll be great to have the exposure in Paris through the gallery, which there's a huge amount of artists that you've exhibited, that the Avant Gallery have exhibited that I respect. So, it's just nice to be part of the continuation of the gallery, and in the Grand Palais as well. So it's I think it's a beautiful setting, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, the juxtaposition of the works hopefully will go down well.
Amazing, amazing. And so where your booth will be located, Albertine?
Uh, I think it's close to Kevin One. Kevin Abosch got a booth.
Okay, from
So
Paris next.
I don't know exactly where. It's in the
Okay,
middle, and it will be
you will discover it.
a really open booth.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so for anyone, basically the digital sector is a very central place in Paris
Mhm.
Photo, so in the middle of the Grand Palais. So, yeah, I believe you won't be able to miss it if you go there.
Mm.
So no, that's amazing. Actually, I just wanted to thank you, for being with us this morning. It's amazing. Thank you, Remy, for being with us also this morning. You like it, and
It's a
now
pleasure.
really, yeah, the job is amazing. I invite you also to visit, just Norman's profile on Super Rare, which are the links, and Norman's on Twitter, and of course, don't miss the show. I'm sure it's gonna be impressive. I can already, imagine these pieces, the printed ones with paint style, that would be there, and also, it's the good point, and I really appreciate also, Albertine, you've been doing already a solo show last year, and now I feel a lot of people are doing solo shows, but it's really much, it's much easier for people to understand it when they see several pieces from the same artist together, and you see the consistency, and you discover all the style and the differences and the evolution. So yeah, I can't wait to see it. And so yeah, see you in Paris, basically.
In Paris, yeah.
See you in Paris. So, and for people following NFT Morning, actually, we're recording a lot of episodes related with Paris Photo this week. So the next one will be actually with Anita Bakers and actually Daniel Canogar and Rolf Art. So yeah, you will see. Actually, it will be pretty interesting. So I invite you to see, with actually also Giulietta Torrobella, the collab between Daniel Canogar and Giulietta Torrobella. So you will see soon. So if you want to discover more, just follow the NFT Morning, and you will get the information.
Thanks,
Norman,
Sean. Cheers.
Norman, thank you. No, you can. Thank you for waking up so early. Also, thank you, Albertine. Rem,
Cheers.
soon. Have a great day.
Bye.
And good morning.
Morning.
Happy